I'm Tim, welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Submariner reference 116613LB. You can see this unique gloss dial two-tone Rolex Submariner and purchase it on our website. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video for our full listing for this watch with accessories included, additional high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now, a debut of 2008 as a white gold watch, the so-called Sub-C or ceramic bezel Submariner began to hit its stride in 2009 and 2010 with the debut of the two-tone and the steel version respectively. And it is that original two-tone 116613 that we see today. 40 millimeters across the round of the case. Nominally it's the same size as the 5-digit references that came before it, but on the wrist, in person, it wears far larger. 40 millimeters, not including the crown or the crown guard. The watch is also reasonably slim at 12.5 millimeters with a nicely sloped gold and ceramic bezel. Where the watch really struts its stuff as a full-sized modern reference is the Lug To Lug Measurement, and because these end links on the bracelet are solid, they represent the outermost rigid outcroppings of the watch, so effectively the maximum span across the wrist, and on this watch that span is 51 millimeters. Because the entire bracelet and clasp are milled out, and in this case, endowed with precious metal, the watch feels incredibly hefty on the wrist. Although two-tone stainless steel and yellow gold, it has the heft of a full gold watch, and quite honestly, there are competing manufacturers that build full gold watches that fall short of the weight of this impressive Submariner. Now, it's important to note that the bracelet is a superb piece. The 3-link oyster design, it features both contrasting metals and contrasting metal finishes. Now, you can see that the yellow links down the center feature high polish. I'm actually going to come to the rescue of them with a little bit of a polishing cloth. And then you can see that the shoulder links actually feature satin on their shoulders and then polish on their extremity. So the outermost portions of the link have high polish that's a wonderful complement to the polished yellow gold at center with a little bit of satin finishing to mute the total effect and add complexity. Now the clasp, as with all contemporary Submariners, is fully milled. It's incredibly solid, beautifully finished inside and out, and it features Rolex's glide lock. So you have effectively 20 millimeters in incremental 2 millimeter adjustments. Far more versatile than a conventional flip lock dive extension. This allows you to make micrometric adjustments in the course of wear. So if your wrist expands during activity, contracts during cold periods or inactivity, you can make that adjustment on the fly. It also makes sizing the watch easier if you're giving it as a gift, because you only have to guess close and then you've got almost an inch of adjustability built into the clasp. Very solid. It opens and closes with a confidence-inspiring set of snicks and snaps. Now, the dial itself is a bit of a standout because this is the version of the watch that was sold between 2009 and 2012. It's the same gloss blue dial with maxi indices that we first saw on the 2008 Smurf, but what sets this one apart from the 2013 successor to the 116613 is that it is that glossy dial base. It doesn't have the sunburst quality of the 2013s and later. This was a short-lived run, again, only 9 to 12. So you don't see too many of these watches around. The sunburst, although initially the fan favorite among Rolex collectors, may wind up being the watch that paradoxically is less valued down the line simply because more were made. So keep an eye on these beautiful gloss dials because not only do they have the appearance almost of enamel, featuring depth and luster and reflectivity that even the sunbursts don't quite boast, but again, they just are less common. There's a little bit of a vintage air about this dial too, with the golden print, something of a throwback to the days of golden gilt print on the 50s and 60s Submariners. Now, when I talk about the Maxi Dial, what I'm talking about is a system of larger indices and loomed hands, originally pioneered on the Yachtmaster in the early 90s, and then the so-called LV, or the Anniversary Submariner, with the green bezel from 2003 on. Now, outboard of the dial, which features all applied yellow gold indices and hands, you can see that there is the gold inset Cerachrom bezel. Now, what that is a blue ceramic that, for practical purposes, is just as scratch resistant as the sapphire crystal itself. So you're not going to have that beat-up bumper car look to this bezel over time. And that's the look that afflicted older Rolexes with the anodized aluminum inserts. Here, no such downfall, one might say that this watch is built to look just as good 10, 20, 30 years down the line. Inside the case, the tried and true Rolex Calibre 3135, 31 jewels. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. By means of a screw-down crown, the watch attains 300-meter water resistance, and that movement features both hacking seconds. When you pull the crown, you stop the balance, allowing precise synchronization, and a quick set function for the date. It also features a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring. It features a full balance bridge for stability and resistance to shock-induced timing variation, and to that same end, the watch features a free-sprung balance. 31 jewels with a 45 to 48 hour power reserve. This is a tank-tough movement, the latest in a succession of Rolex tractor automatics in the Submariner dating back to the 50s. It's as tough on the inside as the watch is on the outside. You can see this Rolex 116613 LB with the unique blue gloss dial on our website and purchase it there.